It's a shame Lake isn't here to help you. Just like she dragged you through today's challenge.
Leave me alone!
I just started watching Disventure Camp this month. I did a review of season 1 a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty good. So it made sense for me to watch the second season. I was supposed to make this video like a week ago, but I had to talk about Total Drama Season 2 reboot, since it just came out. Better later than never, I guess. Let's actually get started talking about Disventure Camp Season 2, and would love to hear your guys' opinions on the season in the comments below. Just gonna say it, I like Season 1 way more. Don't get me wrong, the second season wasn't bad, it had some pretty good moments, but I found most of the episodes pretty boring. Definitely episodes 1 through 7. 8 to 13 were really good in my opinion, and I really enjoyed those episodes. But it kinda sucked I didn't like the first couple of episodes that much. I'm not gonna say there was no good moments in episodes 1 through 7. There was definitely some. Definitely with characters like Lake, Aiden, and Rosa. Also have to give this season some credit. The character designs are really good. Honestly, like the character designs more this season than season 1. Some of my favorite designs being Rhea, Aiden, and Tess. However, you can tell the animation and the voice acting isn't as good as season 1. But you can't blame them for that because season 1 is technically newer. I really respect all the work All Nation Cartoon does and can't wait to see their future work. Excited to see how All-Star plays out. Now going back to season 2. The main reason why I didn't like the first couple of episodes is because I found most of the characters pretty boring. There was only like 2 characters I liked the first 6 episodes. But later in the season I do start liking more characters. And one character had huge improvement. Talk more about each character later in the video. The challenges and the writing of the season was decent. Not horrible but not amazing. The final challenge was pretty cool though and I really liked it. I have to say one thing I like so much more this season is the host. Crystal is so much better than Derek and Trevor. She had her bad moments and sometimes she can go too far. But she honestly was a pretty good host. I really like that she improved later in the season and tried to be a better person. Trying not to be like her father, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Chris, which is really cool. So glad they chose her as the host for All-Stars instead of the other 2. Overall, the season was alright, had some good characters and moments. Now moving on to the characters. There was 14 characters in total. Having a really good cast is important to have a good season. So let's get started with the first character, Oliver. Oliver was the first root in the season, because he made his team lose. Honestly felt bad for him, but it was nice that he turned into an intern for the rest of the season. He was actually pretty good as an intern too. Like that Oliver helped Crystal tell her when she was too mean or going too far. Also, you can tell about Oliver everything is a mess. You see this happen when he quits and Crystal has to convince him to join the team again. He was overall a decent character but had some pretty good moments as an intern. Moving on to Kai. Honestly, I don't know how, sorry if I pronounce some of these characters' names, but I'm just gonna say that right now. He was honestly a more forgettable character to me. He was just a chill person. His only super memorable moment was him yelling at Yule. His friendship with Maggie was pretty good, I guess. He was one of the few nice people to her. We do see later in the season that him and Maggie connect to nature and be living in the forest later in the season. Overall, just an alright character, on the lower end of my Disventure Camp Season 2 ranking. Next up is Connor, another more forgettable character, but better than Kai. He is more older than the rest of the cast, which helps him stick out. He was pretty nice and would actually give people advice. He was more of a father figure. We saw him try to relate to the young people like Allie, which didn't go well since he destroyed her Nintendo Switch. But like I said before, he gave out advice to characters like Kai, Yule, and Oliver. He also had a friendship/relationship with Rhea. He did give Rhea a perfume, which was very nice to him, and showed that he's a very nice person. Actually, thinking more about it, Connor's a decent character. I would probably like him more if he lasted longer this season, since he did get eliminated pretty early. He is in the All-Stars though, so he might get more screen time. Overall, he was a decent character and was a pretty nice guy. Maggie is next, another character I wasn't a huge fan of. She was just boring. Like, I felt bad for her and she just wanted to make friends, but she was a super boring character in my opinion. She mainly got bullied by Yule in the season until she got eliminated and met with Kai. Nice to see her and Kai being friends. And her punching Yule is a pretty memorable moment and he definitely deserved it. But I'm gonna say it again, she was overall a boring character. Had nothing more to say about her. After Maggie is Yule, he was the main villain until he got eliminated. He was a jerk and would be cruel to others. We also saw he thought highly of himself and was famous on social media. Even though I didn't like Yule, he wasn't boring. Can't say the same for some characters, Maggie and Kai. I do have to give him some credit. He was pretty smart to make an alliance on both teams, which shows he has potential to be a really strong player. But his bad attitude caused him to get eliminated. Him getting poisoned by the mushroom costing him the game was really memorable. He did deserve it though. Like, why are you trying to poison Aiden? It's karma. As a villain, he was alright. Probably be a better villain if he made it further in the season, but wasn't disappointed he got eliminated early. I wasn't a huge fan of Yule, but at least he was pretty entertaining. Honestly, looking forward to him in All-Stars. Next up is Tess, another just alright character. I really like her design, but she was pretty boring. We do see that Tess has depression, which is something I like about Disventure Camp. They do have some serious topics. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of her, glad she was able to be more happy at the end of the season, also make friends. Her, Allie, and Hunter were a trio. Wasn't the hugest fan of the trio just because it was kind of boring. I know I'm probably using the word boring a lot throughout the video, but these are the characters were just honestly boring. Tess was the character I was looking forward to, but sadly wasn't the biggest fan of her. However, she seems pretty good in All-Stars. Can't wait to see what they do of her. Definitely since she probably won't be of the Allie and Hunter drama. Next up, my favorite Disventure Camp character being Lake. Lake was just amazing and one of the few characters I liked at the start of the season. Her and Rose's friendship was really good. Also, she was a very nice person. Her parents were super strict of her and even made her do homework during the season. Last, she was able to get away from her parents and make friends. You can see her being more confident and independent later in the season. She's also doing things she wants to do now instead of her parents, which is something I really like. Another good friendship was Aiden and Lake, which are both pretty good characters. We do learn some other things about Lake. We learned that she is bald and has to wear a wig. She lost her hair because of stress, which I do feel bad for her. Honestly, her moments with Crystal were very interesting. She said she was worse than her father, which really got Crystal mad, and you can tell it got to her.
You are not like your father. You are worse. You are a monster. Shut up already!
At least Crystal helped Lake stay in the game when her parents wanted her to leave the show. I was disappointed when Lake got eliminated. Honestly, thought she was gonna make it further, but she had a lot of good moments. A character I really liked and my favorite Disventure Camp Season 2 character. Next is Carol. She was overall an alright character. She honestly had some things I liked about her. The main thing, she cared for animals. We saw that a couple times in the show. We also learned that she doesn't really get along with humans that well, which is why she likes animals a lot. She does have a short temper and can be rude at sometimes, which can be annoying at times too. She really didn't last that long since she was second boot and then she came back just to get eliminated again. Also, RIP the spider. She's just an alright character and didn't have that much screen time, but I didn't hate her. Next up was Allie. She was a gamer, which was honestly pretty cool. However, she was very bland and boring. She was personally my least favorite out of the trio. Wouldn't hate if she got eliminated earlier. All we know that she yells at kids, likes Hunter, and plays video games. However, it doesn't even seem like Hunter and Allie are getting along in All Stars. Having a gamer as a contestant is a cool idea, but she was not my favorite. I honestly like Sam way more, which is also a gamer. I didn't even like Sam that much. At least he had some interesting moments. I don't hate Allie, but she's definitely a definition of an alright character. Rosa was a character I just thought was alright at the start of the season, but I really liked her later in the season. She was very nice and a forgiving person. You saw this when she helped James and Rhea, even though she didn't like them or was mad at them, showing that Rosa is a very kind person. This also made me really like Rosa. Her and Lake friendship was really good. You can tell she helped Lake a lot. Probably my favorite friendship in season 2. Where Rhea took her immunity idol and blamed her for stealing things, I knew she was going to get eliminated. Felt bad for her, but she was pretty good this season. Honestly wish she returned for All Stars, but at least she was pretty good in season 2. We only have 4 characters left. Next is Hunter. Hunter wasn't bad. He was actually decent. My favorite of the 3. He did win immunity a decent amount in Merge, which was pretty cool. Their plot this season was him having Tess and Allie like him. That was really it though. I honestly found Hunter, Tess, and Allie as just alright characters. Didn't really like them or didn't really hate them. Hunter is definitely the best out of the 3 this season, but he's just an alright character. Next is AJ, another character I liked at the start of the season. He was pretty nice, but honestly thinking more about it, he doesn't really do that much. Definitely liked him more when I first watched him this season, but now I just found him alright. His relationship with James was pretty good, also his friendship with Lake was actually pretty good too. I did think he would win this season, but kinda glad he didn't. James was definitely the better choice. Aiden was an alright character. He definitely wasn't bad and had some pretty good moments. He just gave me main character vibes, and I guess people could relate to him. This is my opinion on Aiden. I would actually like to know your guys' opinions on Aiden in the comments below. He's just a character I like, but I don't know why I really like him that much. I don't know, I just don't know how to explain it. So I would, like I said, I really like to know your guys' opinions on Aiden. After Aiden is Rhea. She was honestly a character I'm very mixed on. She was pretty nice at the start of the season and then turned into a villain. We know she wants to become famous and wants to become an actress in Hollywood. We saw her have a friendship with Rosa and Connor in the earlier episodes. But to be 100% honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of her until she turned into the villain. She was just there the first couple episodes. She was a pretty good villain in my opinion. We saw her eliminate Lake and Rosa, who thought they were her friends, but Rhea didn't see anything wrong about getting them eliminated. She was just playing the game. She made Aiden and James have problems by saying James was using Aiden for clout. She also didn't help Aiden up after him falling and hitting on a cliff, which was one of her more mean and extreme moments. She went from being this pretty nice character to becoming more evil and doing anything to make sure she could win the season. She was overall a decent character. I can see why people like her or hate her. Next up is the winner of the season, being James. He had such a huge improvement in the season for me. Going to be 100% honest, I did not like James at the start of the season. He was one of my least favorite characters, but he started to get so much better later in the season. We see him start a relationship with Aiden. At first he only did it for social media, but later started to have feelings for him. We saw this a couple of times, definitely when he was supposed to poison Aiden with the mushrooms but did it to Yule instead. They're a pretty good relationship in my opinion, and James was honestly a pretty good winner. But you know what made me like him so much was when he said he was going to give some of the money to Rosa for being the only one to help him. This wasn't the same James from the start of the season. He actually went through a lot of improvement. He wasn't really a jerk anymore. He was one of the better written characters in my opinion. Honestly, James is a really good Disventure Camp character. Went from hating him to thinking he was pretty good to thinking he was really good the last episode. Overall, the cast is just alright. There was very few characters I really liked, and most of them were just alright characters. Overall, Disventure Camp Season 2 wasn't my favorite. Found it pretty boring at moments, but it wasn't horrible. The later episodes were actually pretty good and actually enjoyed watching them. Like I said before, I do like Season 1 a lot more than Season 2, but Season 2 wasn't horrible. If you really like the season, that's fine. It wasn't my cup of tea. But I'm looking forward to these characters in All-Stars. This is my opinion on Disventure Camp Season 2. Give me your opinions on this season in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching and consider subscribing to my channel. And see you guys next video.